Number 7, Paloma Dover. Number 29, Alex Fox. Number 14, Cameron Silver. Number 36, Anna Carpenter. Number 27, Sally Tackle. And number 51, Amelia. And now, we're starting for your San Francisco Nighthawks. Number 1, Raquel Wong. Number 10, Eliana Wong. Number 24, Rina Ogimoto. Number 22, Kelly Gerwin. Number 15, Jimmy Brumlin Menuza. Number 7, Hannah McCord. Number 6, Fatima Waldo Garcia. Number 18, Maggie Altman. Number 19, Chelsea Bang. Number 11, Carla Sandoval. Number 13, Risa Yamada. And number 16, Marissa Vasquez.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kezar Stadium in San Francisco, California. I'm Sarah Ash on commentary, and tonight a WPSL matchup for the ages as we renew this historic rivalry between two founding teams of the WPSL. The visiting Cal Storm coming off a 3-3 draw versus Iron Rose, and the Nighthawks coming off a 1-1 draw versus FC Davis. The Hawks sit in second place with a record of 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss, and 13 points total, while the Storm sit in fourth with 3 wins, 1 draw, and no losses, 10 points total. Of course, Storm having played 1 fewer games than the Nighthawks and sitting with 3 points difference between these two teams. And I mentioned a historic rivalry and one for the ages. Nonetheless, last year the Storm beating the Nighthawks 1-0 at Cal Storm. The year before that, these two teams going all the way to penalty kicks before both teams made it to regionals. And that year, Cal Storm ended up taking the championship, going to nationals, and fully winning the entire WPSL. The Nighthawks with a great start to this season so far, starting the season with 4 straight wins, and then dropping 1 to Iron Rose, the expansion team. We'll talk more about them later. And then, of course, most recently, that 1-1 draw versus FC Davis. We see both teams take the field, cheers from the stands for their home squad, the Nighthawks. Cal Storm in the dark black here, and the Nighthawks in their brand new uniforms this season. The gorgeous teal with the flower all over. It's a very San Francisco uniform, if you will, and San Francisco Nighthawks hosting Cal Storm here at the historic Kezar Stadium, where back in the day the 49ers used to play, actually. So great setting, beautiful evening, and much better weather. These two teams having played games this past weekend through the heat wave. Nighthawks in Davis in 104-degree weather, and now in cloudy, foggy San Francisco. Probably just 60 degrees, maybe even less, and we're about to kick it off here. Nighthawks will start with the ball, and we are off. Nighthawks coming back home. They kicked off the season here at Kezar Stadium and then proceeded to go on a 5-game away trip. They played the past 5 games away from home, and they're back here for their final 3 games of the season. They'll play 5 away and 4 at home because there's 9 teams now in this division. Some teams get 5 at home, some teams get 4 at home, and then it'll flip the following year, of course, because it is a short season. Each team only plays each other once. Nighthawks trying to get possession here. And if you haven't seen the Nighthawks play, that is their tried and true style. They want to get possession. They want to knock it around the back. They want to use their holding center midfield and Sydney Grunland-Lanuza to really control that ball. And we'll talk a lot more about Sydney Grunland as this broadcast goes on. The only bummer of these gorgeous uniforms that the Nighthawks are donning tonight is that the numbers do kind of blend into the teal, so it is a little harder to see just who is who, but I will do my best to keep you updated. And so far, a back and forth game, neither team really able to keep possession or really even get that ball out of that midfield, that center third. Nighthawks once again controlling, and they'll look to just possess. That's Hannah McCord, left back, trying to advance the ball forward. Nighthawks will take the throw, and that's McCord, who has been with the Nighthawks since she was a sophomore in high school. Went to University of Portland and then got picked up by Southern Louisiana, who brought her on. She was the star of the team. She went on to be the captain, took them to the championship, and just graduated, and she's looking to go pro. Big staple of this WPSL league, and also the Nighthawks, a training ground for high school, collegiate, and post-collegiate players to continue to play at a high level and hopefully go pro. So nothing comes of the first free kick there for the Nighthawks. Cal Storm will take over, but a solid possession. That free kick taken by Sydney Grunland. She'll trot back into that defensive center midfield position, that number 6, if you will, and Cal Storm give away the ball immediately. Nighthawks do a good job here to just control. Down that right wing, that's number 10, Elena Wong, all the way in that right back position. And don't be surprised if you see her getting forward a lot throughout this game. She'll take the throw. Wong into the middle. Nighthawks now looking to relieve that pressure. And it's given away, stolen by the Storm. That's Gerloni. And she'll take the shot far post. A beautiful save coming up huge is Lau. Raquel Lau extending all the way, getting her hand on it, but it's not over yet. The Storm back post and another full extension by Lau. Raquel Lau saving the Nighthawks. Let's take a look at that. Cleared, but not a good enough clearance. It's picked up by the Storm. Put back in, a beautiful ball in, and a beautiful header far post. Great job redirecting it, but Lau laying out full extension, just gets her hand on it. Nighthawks still under pressure, though. Storm will go short. Now looking to take it end line, get that cross off again. So dangerous when they put the ball in the box, and Nighthawks just unable to clear it, it seems. This is Pagador looking to put the ball in again, and she's won another corner for Cal Storm. Pagador, number 27 there. You see her trotting in back into that 18. Most likely to be a target for this corner kick. She's a left back here for the Cal Storm, one of their tallest players, so most likely she will be a target here, as it doesn't look like they're going to go short this time. Pagador, number 27, you see at the top of the box, and they do look to go short. Nighthawks cover it this time, and a long ball back post, elevating, and this time once again called a corner kick. Nighthawks screaming for it to be a goal kick, but definitely deflected off of Nighthawks defender, so we'll go again. 3 corner kicks back to back to back here for the Storm. Threatening early. This is Porter taking it. Ball driven in, a beautiful ball across. It headed up and over, and Nighthawks finally able to relieve some pressure there, but beautiful sequence for the Storm. All of that coming from Nighthawks looking to possess, and just kind of a hospital ball, if you will, sent backwards. Center forward, Grillion for the Storm did a great job to read it on that, pick it off, and once again, Storm picking off the passes for the Nighthawks. Perhaps they're telegraphing what they're doing a bit too much. But as I said, these are two teams that know each other very well, despite really only playing once a year. They've known each other for the past 30 years, and that says something. Nighthawks able to finally clear it all the way up, get their lines forward, and try to relieve some pressure now. Back and forth we go now. Nighthawks looking to trade possession with the Storm, but again, the Storm able to steal it off of Nighthawks. That was Silva tracking all the way back from that right wing position, gaining possession, and now Storm looking to do the same thing. You can say these two teams playing very similarly, both wanting to control possession, to control the game, neither really wanting to play counterattack soccer. So it should be a good chess match, a good battle, some push and pull. Expect both of these teams to really trade off possession. Emperador, number 36, goes all the way back to Fangold, her keeper. Will swing it all the way wide and given away. Now, a lot of these turnovers so far have really not been have not been the other team forcing anything, but rather just mistakes on the offensive end, and big clearance all the way downfield. Nighthawks, you can tell they're just looking to relieve pressure wherever they can right now. Storm doing a great job of pressing them as quickly as they can. Nighthawks needs to do a better job of just stepping to the ball. Foul called in the middle of the field. And that's Carla Sandoval playing in that attacking center mid position, and Grunland floats it into the middle. A beautiful ball flicked on. McCord looking to center it. She does. Finds a player marked by two defenders, and now Storm having trouble clearing the ball. And here we go, just as I said, trading off possessions, these two teams. Gerwitz trying to find the open player. Ends up finding nobody, and Storm will take over out of bounds. Gerwitz, number 22, one of the center backs here for the Nighthawks. Gerwitz, such a strong presence in the back for this team. Battle down to this right flank, given away in the middle of the field. Play on, says the referee. Both players battling it out, and now a foul is called. That was Sandoval again. Picked that ball off. Nighthawks with another free kick, their third of the game already. Waldo Garcia, the other attacking center midfielder, number 26, who you see standing over the ball right now, did a great job to really start that attack, battling in the middle of the field. She ended up on the ground. Now the Nighthawks, a difficult place here for a free kick, a little too far out to take a shot, but it has to be a very short, lofted floater if you're going to try to get runners in the box. So we'll see what the Nighthawks do. Waldo Garcia will take it. A shot it is, and that goes over the top, and she'll want that one back. So trading off possessions. Just about 10 minutes into this game now. Storm now looking to possess. Both teams started out a little bit on the back foot, needed a bit of time to settle down, and then around the 5th minute, both of these teams started pressing each other very hard. That's what you get from a rivalry game. It will be said, though, and it should be said, that both of these teams coming off of weekend games, and this is a midweek Tuesday game, so there are tired legs. And I mentioned the Nighthawks played in Davis in about 104-degree weather. And every single player was used in that game, and that can mean two things. The benefit of that is that you didn't have a lot of players that had 90 minutes on their body, so legs won't be as tired as they would have been had each player had 90 minutes on their body. And The downside of that is that you don't really have any fresh legs because everybody got into that game, as you need in 104-degree weather on turf. That game played on Saturday, so that's 2 days rest. Beautiful turn there in the middle. Nighthawks able to possess, and that was Grunland. Sydney Grunland, I mentioned, the holding center mid. Number 6 for the Nighthawks, just so key in their possession, in their attack. She orchestrates everything. She pulls the strings. She's the one who's able to settle the ball down when it's needed. Ball in, a dangerous one. Barely getting a hand on it. It was loud. Didn't look dangerous. And it took a skid on this grass and not a strong enough throw out. It's picked off by Vila. Vila with a beautiful 1-2 in the middle of the box, and Lau comes up big. 3 defenders collapsing around Villa, and it had to happen. Lau now, we can expect a punt as that previous throw just came up a little weak. Storm finding Pagador. Pagador opts to go herself. She'll take it line, looking to cut in, and that's good defense there. That's tracking back all the way Waldo Garcia from that center mid position, tracking back to cover. Now a beautiful ball in and another corner kick given up. 4th of the game so far, 12 minutes in. So while possession seems to have been relatively even, Cal Storm absolutely have had the better of the opportunities here. A good flick on to try to get that out of the 18 for the Nighthawks. Chasing was Pagador, and she'll retreat back. Staying on this right side for now. They'll just switch it up. Nighthawks now trapped in their defensive third. Cal Storm looking to lock them in. You can see just how many Cal Storm players they have crowding this area. And they're able to get a hold of it. Hutchinson now. That'll fall out of bounds. Nighthawks throw. Nighthawks working in small amount of area, unable to clear it out fully, and now Cal Storm. They'll push it all the way to the other side. Picked off. Picked off once again. Back and forth we go in this game. Storm now threatening. Lancaster, she'll dump it wide. Storm's so adept at those underlapping runs. We've seen them work out already for them. Far too many of them really have, and Nighthawks haven't figured out how to pick them up. Storm now able to get possession and swing it around in their attacking third, and a beautiful ball into the box, but Lau's all over it. Just a little too much on that. That one from Pagador, who's finding herself all over the field today. Now the Nighthawks will opt to just build it out of the back. Gerwitz trying to find Sandoval, given away, and now beautiful 1-2, looking to take the shot off of the crossbar. That was Griglione once again. Able to find herself in such dangerous places here for the Storm already. Griglione was the one who picked off that first ball that led to a counterattack, and let's take a look at that again. Just trying to find your center midfielder, and another giveaway by the Nighthawks. Again, a lot of these turnovers. While these teams are under pressure, you can't necessarily say that they're forced in a really tough blow right there. It looked like it was head-to-head. Coming in late was Wong, right back for the Nighthawks. The Storm will take over. We see both of these teams just starting to settle down. Storm really able to settle down and gain this possession in the attacking third. Nighthawks, on the other hand, able to settle into that defensive shape. And now looking to go on the counterattack. This is Altman on the ball, waiting for teammates to get center. She tries to dump it backwards, but Storm read that all the way. Altman didn't have all that much support. Picked up by Sandoval. Now here are the Nighthawks, looking to get some possession in their attacking third. A beautiful 1-2. Vasquez will dump it off. Trying to find Altman in the middle. Sandoval on the back post. Called offsides. And that was the first touch we've really seen from Maggie Altman. Maggie Altman, top goal scorer in this division right now. Excuse me, sits at number 2 in terms of goal scoring in this division right now. Kim Garcia, the only person ahead of her, with 6. Maggie Altman's got 5 goals on the season, and the Nighthawks will want her on the ball right now. It's the first we saw her of this game, and it's difficult when you're in the forward line, the center forward line. You do have to track back to get that ball sometimes. But perhaps the Nighthawks have found something on the counterattack right now. Kicking it wide to Wong. Wong trying to go long, and that's not going to be enough. Altman chasing, trying to get on it, but Storm will take over. I mentioned Elena Wong playing that long ball, and I mentioned Maggie Altman as the second highest goal scorer in this division this year. Elena Wong as the top assist leader in this division so far, in a dangerous moment once again. Nighthawks aren't out of it yet, and a foul called late. Almost looked like it wasn't going to be called. A dangerous opportunity here. Storm has had 4 corners, and this may as well be one. Dumping it back off to Pagador. Pagador, the long ball all the way across. This is Lancaster. Close. Now Storm look to go around. Mentioned both teams like to play possession-oriented soccer. Will be a battle of possession, and right now Storm are winning that battle for possession, but scoreline still 0-0, and Nighthawks have shown some light of being able to be flexible and adaptable and perhaps sit back and be that team in this game that takes on the counterattack. But plenty of time left in this game. We do anticipate some changes in momentum, and here threatening once again are the Storm, and another huge save from Lau. Again, able to get just one hand on it. That was Griglione again for the Storm. Nighthawks under pressure. Wong boots it up. The only thing she can do under pressure. She couldn't go around the back. And you'll see that part of what the Storm are doing and what number 12, Griglione, center forward for the Storm, are doing, are putting a player on the Nighthawks center back. So the Nighthawks, for example, in that exact moment with Wong getting the ball at that right back position, she can't turn around and play it back out of pressure to her center back. The Nighthawks will have to start relieving pressure by going all the way back to their goalkeeper or find another outlet through the middle. The long ball defended well. Nighthawks playing quickly but under pressure. And a tug on the shirt, somehow not called, advantage called, but now tug on the shirt is called, a professional foul, if you will, as the Nighthawks were off and away, and that should be a yellow card. Perhaps it'll just be a talking to, but there it is. The yellow card issued to number 36, Emperador. So the Nighthawks were off to the races there, and that is that counterattack that we were talking about. Nighthawks having to be flexible, and perhaps just play that counter. Grunlin Lanuza stands over the ball. We've had a couple of free kicks from almost this exact spot. Haven't really been able to make anything of it. And this one into the box. Altman, the sole attacker there. 2 defenders on her, and looked like a drawn-up play for none of the other Nighthawks players to run in and try to isolate Altman. Altman had 2 defenders following her. understandably so, and Nighthawks able to keep possession. You see now already center backs for the Nighthawks being under pressure, and Grunlin able to get that wide. Perhaps next time she'll be able to swing that. Nighthawks are so good when they can swing it to the weak side out of pressure. Everybody just under immense amounts of pressure immediately, though, and now Silva on the right for the Storm. Taps it left, put under pressure once again now. That's Sandoval battling in the middle for the Nighthawks. She's fouled by Silva on her back, and the Nighthawks will take control. California Storm really figured this game out first, but you can see the Nighthawks just slowly building into this game. Long ball up to Altman. It's Hutchinson for the Storm. Passed off to Pagador. Pagador has now switched sides. She's hanging out on this right backside, and now Altman takes it off of her, takes the shot, and just wide. And you can see what a shot Maggie Altman has. That had some pace on it, and it looked for a moment like it was just going to tuck in that post, but just wide. So the Nighthawks really with their first true opportunity there, doing a better job of getting goal scorer Maggie Altman on the ball. And that's a good turn there on that left-hand side. Porter up to Griglione. Griglione, free space in front of her. Takes too long of a touch, and Lau comes out. These two finding themselves in 3 1v1s already this game, and Lau coming up on top all 3 times. McCord into the middle. You see this tight space that Storm are just forcing the Nighthawks in, and Nighthawks unable to turn and find that other side. Through some luck, they're able to do that here. Grunlin trying to turn, she's unable to. Now Nighthawks under pressure in the back. Once again, you can see they just can't get that switch. Storm take over, ball into the box, and a challenge and a big win from Gerwitz in the middle. Now here come the Nighthawks the other way. A big challenge in the middle, a good step in. That's Hutchinson, number 5. Defensive center midfielder for the Cal Storm, holding it down in the middle. Once again, another mistake, almost costly. This time in the back for the Storm, as Altman almost picked that off from Emperador. And now Villa streaking into the middle, takes on one and loses it. This game non-stop, both teams pressing. Both teams rarely going side to side all that much. Cal Storm obviously with some possession, they've been able to settle it down, but for the most part, this game has been back and forth. And for tired legs, that's not what you want. It'll have to change at some point. Long ball too far. Chasing, but it'll roll out of bounds. So 24 minutes into this half, just over halfway through this first half. Nighthawks will take over here. You can see already, even before Lau kicks it, Storm just disallowing her from playing that short ball, forcing her to play that long ball into the middle. Really creates a 50-50 ball. Nighthawks like to play that, usually that goal kick right out of the back, make sure they keep possession. Storm pressing even on that goal kick, forcing them to go long. On the other hand, you can see here the Nighthawks content to sit, let the Storm knock it around their back line. And then they opt to press right here when the Storm start to go forward. And good win there for the Nighthawks. Into Grunlin. Grunlin finding Waldo Garcia. Now there's time and space, and this is how the Nighthawks like to play. Vasquez tried to send it long. I mentioned that the Storm won this matchup last year. 2022, the year before that, Nighthawks took it on penalty kicks here at Kezar Stadium. Both of these teams been in the WPSL for the full 30 years that the WPSL has been around, and we'll get into some history of the WPSL later if you aren't as familiar with it. Cal Storm with a roster playing in the WPSL and the USLW League, 2 pre-professional leagues that run over the summertime here in the United States. Pre-professional meaning that everybody playing here is of amateur status, so college or post-college, but not professional, not being paid. Those 2 leagues run side by side. This Cal Storm team with a huge roster playing in both leagues. Nighthawks, again, just trying to play too quickly in the middle of the field, and long ball. Lau's all over it. Gerwitz was doing a great job there, keeping up with Griglione. Gerwitz on the ball now. Gerwitz assessing her options, opts to go long, and lucky flick, I suppose, for the Nighthawks, as it'll roll out of bounds for a throw-in for the Nighthawks. And it should be said, Liz Dwornik, captain of the Nighthawks, suffered an injury on Friday night in practice the night before the Hawks went to FC Davis, and Dwornik has been out since then. A huge loss for the Nighthawks. Dwornik, captain, also one of the oldest players on the team, along with Emily Koo. She's been around the Nighthawks a long time, is a really great leader, a kind leader. She went to Bucknell University, going on her 10th year with the Nighthawks. She provides a steady calmness for this team, and it really can't be overstated how important that is for any team, really. So a huge loss for the Nighthawks to not have her on the field. We hope whatever she's suffering from is not serious. And Nighthawks able to pick that ball up, square ball across the middle. Rarely works. Nighthawks trying to keep possession. That was Waldo Garcia finding nobody. And Cal Storm trying to make them pay for it. Streaking into the middle now. A shot. It was Lancaster on the shot. A 1-2 with Hutchinson. Hutchinson, number 5, the defensive center midfielder, found herself all the way up. And you know, when defensive players find themselves that far up the field, it's like they taste blood. Nighthawks looking to exploit the edge here. Sandoval. She'll tap it out of bounds. You mentioned the injury to Liz Dwornik. Nighthawks also were missing 2 players who went down with injuries that same Friday night practice when they played Davis, but those 2 players are back in the lineup today. Small knocks that they were able to take care of. So luckily they're not missing all 3, but Liz Dwornik, a huge loss here for the Nighthawks. Altman able to keep possession. She takes a shot to the back there from Hutchinson. The Nighthawks will take over. Just about the 30-minute mark, locked at 0. I mentioned the standings that the Nighthawks currently sit in 2nd place. 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. That 1 loss to Iron Rose FC. And they drew with FC Davis, who currently sit number 1 in the standings, just 1 point ahead of the Nighthawks. So 1 team from this division will make regionals, just 1. And it will be, of course, the first place team. So for the Nighthawks to secure that first spot, they will need to win out all of their remaining games, including this one, and need a little bit of help from whoever's playing FC Davis. Now, of course, other things can happen, but if the Nighthawks want to be as in control of their own destiny as possible, they certainly need to win out every single game, including this one, and that's not all too many left either. It's this one and then 2 more, and that is it. Cal Storm have yet to face FC Davis, so if it comes down to it, Cal Storm could have a say on whether the Nighthawks end up going to regionals, but that is definitely getting ahead of ourselves. This game's still locked at 0, and that'll certainly throw a wrench in the standings. Some substitutions here, it looks like, for both teams. Coming into the game for Cal Storm, Lauren Hunter, number 19. And number 16, Tyler Isgrid. Storm now with the possession, and we've really settled into this flow of Storm really having the majority of the possession. Nighthawks looking to go on the counterattack. It looks like Cal Storm, Pagador was just tripped up, no foul called, an accidental trip, or perhaps she just fell on her own, says the referee, and so we'll play on. Maggie Altman doing a beautiful job. This is what we mean by center forward having to track back to get the ball, but she's trying to turn her defender instead of just lay it off, and now Cal Storm take over. Now, we don't have the stats on it, but certainly a ton of turnovers in this game. A ton of unforced turnovers and a ton of forced turnovers too, and an offside flag goes up. Nighthawks will opt to take their time, and certainly interesting here from the Nighthawks to not see any substitutions. Mention that they played everybody in that Saturday game versus Davis. Today, so far, of course, just the 32nd minute, but no substitutions for the Nighthawks. Sandoval. Now McCord. McCord, she'll let it fall. She thinks it's her throw. It'll go the other way. Down the line. Looking to go line and beat McCord. Getting a cross off, but Lau is all over it. And that was, of course, one of the substitutions. Lauren Hunter into the game. Lau will go along with it. Nighthawks just trying to get something started before the end of the half. Some momentum, some possession could really carry them into this second half if they can get it going at the end here. McCord. She'll swing it around now, and you can see once again immediately under pressure and finally able to use their goalkeeper, the Nighthawks, but now again under pressure having to find that center midfield, and this looks better here from the Hawks. Keeping possession. Trying to find that 1-2 down the line, and it's too much. Maggie Ullman putting pressure on the goalkeeper, but still better from the Nighthawks, able to go backwards to Lau out of pressure. You can see they're immediately put under pressure, but at least in this case, they were able to find that small relief before going forward again, and now a substitution here. We will see what you probably just heard, Avalon Keene coming on into the game. She'll take over for number 11, Sandoval. Grunland with 3 players around her trying to get out of it. All the way back to Lau. Lau now, she'll go long up the middle. And it comes back the other way. Here come the Storm. They'll just opt to settle that down via into the middle, and now they'll settle it and knock it around. A couple players also not here tonight for the Nighthawks, but for various reasons as they look to counter. But again, nobody up top. You see how deep Altman has to come back into the midfield just to get that ball, and then when she drops it off, there's nobody up top because she's had to come back so far into the midfield just to get that. Waldo Garcia will lay it off Grunland now. Swinging it through Gerwitz. McCord trying to find that center pass, and it's again not on. Forcing it. Vasquez was open. It was a tight ball that had to be played, and it was not nearly as accurate as it really needed to be. See here the shape, Cal Storm just really not letting the Nighthawks out. Hawks need to play that ball faster as it comes all the way across. Grunland trying the big switch. Why not? We haven't tried that yet. Relieve some of the pressure here for the Nighthawks. Good play there from McCord finding Gerwitz. Now Gerwitz with time and space. She's got a player streaking wide down that right wing, and she's fouled, so they'll pick up that free kick. And if you watch, when any Nighthawks player gets the ball, there's 3 Cal Storm players not necessarily putting immediate pressure on her, but blocking any short outlet passes. Nighthawks have figured out how to go long in moments for that long outlet pass, and that outlet doesn't necessarily need to be straight forward down the field. It can be to the side. Giving up again, a dangerous area. Griglione now in the middle. Will she opt to take it herself? She does. She goes back post, and it's just wide. Lau will take it. Another dangerous opportunity that Griglione created really for herself there. Erica Griglione, she's got 1 goal on the season. You wouldn't know it with how she's playing today. You'd imagine she had more. 1 goal on the season, though, across 4 games. Not too bad. Nighthawks under pressure. In trouble again, backing away, trying to go where the Storm, and Nighthawks are all over at Lau. Having a busy half so far. And now they're able to build out of the back, starting to see the tired legs from late in the game, or late in the half setting in. Could that benefit the Nighthawks if the Storm have been pressing this whole time? Perhaps at a certain point they won't be able to keep it up. Wide now, this is Pagador. Pagador takes her space, trying to beat Wong line. Wong gets a foot on it, and Pagador trying to play it back out. Cal Storm now take over possession in their third. Nighthawks trying to press that line forward. Not a ton of space to work in, but they're able to find that ball through, and that's good defense there. Last-ditch defending there. Beautiful effort. That was Tyler Iskrid, who was in. The clock ticks almost to 40 minutes here, and hasn't been a lot of stoppage time, so we'd imagine it will probably go to 40 or 46, but nothing like the NWSL with 6, 7, 8 minutes of stoppage time added on. Nighthawks will take over, and you can see these players' pace just slowing a little bit more. Both teams, of course, having played weekend games, as I mentioned. This is week 7 here of WPSL season. Each team will play 9 games. Week 6 power rankings. Excuse me, West power rankings, West Coast specific. Nighthawks were number 3 behind the San Diego Strikers, who sat at number 1, and California Storm, who sat at number 2, just above the Nighthawks. So both teams here making the power rankings. Both teams with the potential to get to regionals. Looking for a shot from the top of the box. It's closed down by the Nighthawks well, and now coming back is Altman. Picks it off. Nighthawks will take over, but difficult pass, and now back and forth in the middle. Finally scooped up. Griglione into the middle. Again, trying to find that through ball. Storm are so adept with those runs and those little through balls, especially in this 18. Lau trying to find Quan wide, and it just didn't have enough strength on it. And now unintentional handball. It looks like that'll be called on McCord. And so the Storm will get a free kick in a strong position here just outside the 18. Expect a wall here from the Nighthawks. Three-person wall, a little much for free kick so far out. Storm will go quickly. Looking to get that cross off is Hunter. She does, but it'll float out of bounds. Goal kick, Nighthawks. Just under 4 minutes to play here in this half. And Storm have been dominating possession. They've had the majority of the opportunities. But it is just one problem that the Nighthawks need to solve, and perhaps they'll be able to solve that at halftime. They haven't been able to find that space and that player to relieve the pressure. And it's almost like a cliche to say it, but it has to be said. If you're under pressure in one area, there is going to be open space in another. Once again, 3 Storm players swarming. Vasquez able to win the throw, and McCord here on the throw, trying to turn is Vasquez. McCord to Grunland. Grunland now able to swing it. This is where the Nighthawks feel comfortable. All the way up into Altman at the top. Altman trying to distribute and find that through ball, trying to split the center back and the left back there. But to no avail, and so now on the counterattack, here come the Storm. These two teams evenly matched. You can just see it's a battle for every single ball, and that's what a rivalry game is made of too. Every single ball. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a 50-50. The players are going to go in harder than they usually would. Nighthawks now finding themselves once again in a tight situation, trying to swing it. They find Grunland. Grunland now, she's able to find that big switch. And that's that kind of space that the Nighthawks need to get to. Grunland. She had Waldo Garcia, but she opted to go long. A great idea. She had Quan. Looks like the flag goes up. Offside called. And I like that idea from Grunland. She had her attacking center mid, Waldo Garcia, open in space. And I think usually that's a ball that she would play, and the Nighthawks do play, but that ball within the center of the field has just not been working so far, and so she opts to go long and find that space on that diagonal. It was a good idea. Trying to switch it up. You could hear the crowd roar. So slowly figuring it out here in these last few minutes, trying something different are the Nighthawks, and this is that type of momentum when that, I'm saying if there's the one thing that they need to fix, and they're starting to figure out how to solve it. Well contested, instead of bringing it down. It's a header for into the air, and now this is dangerous. A great job from Gerwitz to get a foot on that and keep possession. Looking long now is Grunland trying to find that space long, and Altman streaking. Does she stay on? The offside flag goes up. It was a close one, but she was slightly offside. Watching her streak there, I think she might have thought that the other center back was keeping her on, as one of them was a little deeper than the other. Offside nonetheless, but a good ball and a great run. Two possessions back-to-back here with the Nighthawks. Look sharp and look threatening. We hit the 45-minute mark here. Storm now threatening themselves, looking for that ball into the middle. It's off of McCord, and that should be corner kick for the Storm. It is not. It will be a goal kick, perhaps from this vantage point. I've been fooled. It certainly looked like it went off of McCord. Nonetheless, Nighthawks will take over. And despite Cal Storm having a lot of possession, it is 0-0 at halftime, and that is all that matters. And that will be the end of the first half. 0-0 in this rivalry match. Both teams looking exhausted, and we are in for a good one in this second half. Neither of these teams wanting to come out with a draw in this game. Stick with us. We will be back after halftime for the second half. Hello, everybody, and welcome back for the second half. Right now, you're seeing the Nighthawks take the field for the start of the second half in these new uniforms, these new kits this year. Muni sponsored, that logo on the front. If you're wondering, if you're not from the San Francisco Bay Area, that is the public transit in San Francisco Muni, and that is the logo. So Storm will start with the ball in the second half here, 0-0. Storm with more chances and more possession in the first half, but nothing to show for it. So a clean slate here for both teams, and we'll see what they can make happen here in this second half. I mentioned how much is on the line for both teams. Nighthawks really need to win out the rest of their games, this one and the following two, to control their own destiny in terms of the playoffs. Nighthawks sitting in second right now in the WPSL West Pac North Division. 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. And Cal Storm sitting in fourth with 3 wins, 1 draw, and 0 losses, having played 1 fewer games. Cal Storm in the black. San Francisco Nighthawks in those teal Muni uniforms with the red shorts, red socks, and Cal Storm immediately threatening. Immediately with possession in this attacking half. They'll look to swing it around. Nighthawks kicking off a 3-game homestand with this game. They have 4 games total at home this season. They had the home opener at home. A big win there for the Nighthawks. Then they proceeded to win 3 straight on the road before dropping 1 and then drawing 1. And now here we are for a 3-game homestand to close out the season. A tough schedule for the Nighthawks. Obviously, like I said, kicking it off at home. But then going out on the road 5 games in a row as the away squad. And not just as the away squad, but playing in places where the blistering heat in the summer is something that you are dealing with. And for a team that practices in the cold, foggy evening of San Francisco, that it's not something necessarily that they're used to. Taking the shot from the top, and Lau once again coming up huge. Lau has come up big for the Nighthawks in this game already. Just to kick off the first half, she had 2 full extension, one-hand saves back-to-back in one play just to keep the Hawks in the game. And now some of the first duties here for the Storm goalkeeper, Faingold. She'll roll it out. Storm will just start with possession in their own half. Mentioned that both of these teams are original teams of the WPSL. WPSL started in 1998. It was founded with 6 teams. These 2 teams, of course, being 2 of those 6. 2009, after celebrating the 10-year mark, the WPSL had 50 teams nationwide, just expanding so rapidly. And then just 3 years later, in 2012, the WPSL Elite was founded, which was a league that filled a professional void here in the United States when the WPS folded, and before the NWSL, the current professional league, launched. The WPSL Elite was that professional league that filled that void. Legends of the game like Megan Rapinoe, Tobin Heath, Lori Calponi, all played in the WPSL Elite, a really historic league here in the U.S. for many reasons, including that. And then in 2016, WPSL hit 100 teams nationwide before their 20th season. And then just 4 years later, in 2020, hit an all-time high 130 teams nationwide. Just 3 years ago, they launched a U21 platform that consists of 39 teams in 13 states. In 2023, last year, it celebrated the 25th anniversary. Nighthawks now threatening some of their best bouts of possession in the attacking third here. Storm picking it off. They're looking to transition now. Storm now settling it down. Streaking through the middle was Isgrid. Tyler Isgrid came in as a substitute towards the end of that first half and stayed in the game here. Isgrid came in for Kloss. So Kloss remains out of the game. Isgrid stays in that middle. And now Storm looking to go around the horn. Pagador into the middle looking for that through ball. You could see Isgrid making that run. Instead, they go wide. Lancaster now on the wing. Gets the cross off. She had a player. Couldn't get there. Back post shot and another big save from Lau, but will continue playing it. A foul is called. McCord went down, and it looked like they were going to keep playing, but instead a foul called as McCord goes down. That was a beautiful ball across there from Lancaster. Rising was Griglione. Couldn't quite get there, but it found the player on the back post. Altman now struggling for the Nighthawks to keep possession up there. She's double teamed by Cal Storm, and Cal Storm immediately take possession back. Raquel Lau for the Nighthawks in goal has had an outstanding game so far. Starting goalkeeper this season for the Hawks. Tonight really showing why. Nighthawks now keeping possession. I mentioned that they were and are missing Captain Liz Dwornik. And among others, missing players like Raina Burton, Sydney Cook. Cook on leading goal scorers and leading assist lists this year in the WPSL. And that's what happens as we start to approach July in this league. As I mentioned, a pre-professional league, some of these players do play in college. And if they have to go back to college for captain's practice, for preseason to start, as this WPSL season wears on, every team will start to have some attrition because of that, and it does affect squads. Speaking to manager Jill of the Nighthawks, the Nighthawks find a beautiful space out on the wing. This is Elena Wong tapping it wide. Vasquez looking to cut it back. She'll win the corner kick. Nighthawks' first corner of the game. Some good movement there from the Nighthawks finding that space. And I was mentioning in speaking to Jill of the Nighthawks, she said that this is one of the most tight-knit groups she's really ever had, even with bringing in new players this year, players who are playing for the Nighthawks for the first time. They showed up at their first practice, and for some reason, through the small world of soccer, everybody already knew everybody. Very tight-knit squad that love each other, love playing with each other, and have all played with at least one other player on this team, and that means a lot, especially for a summer league where it can be a smorgasbord, if you will, of different players, and just hoping that it gels. Storm on the transition, a long ball into the middle, dangerous ball. Too far for Lau to come out. Wong trying to clear it, and she does. Now the Nighthawks looking to get in that offensive shape, spread the field, and expand. Wong into the middle. Good ball there onto the wing, trying to find. That's Kwan. Kwan unable to get there, but a good idea there from Waldo Garcia, number 26 in the middle. The middle has been a tough place for the Nighthawks today. Dwornik, who I mentioned, was injured. The captain, she generally found herself in the middle of the field, so a big emotional presence and a big tactical presence missing. But nonetheless, Nighthawks have to move on and persist, and Cal Storm once again with about a possession in their attacking half. Nighthawks holding their line, holding a high line, trying to get the Storm at least under some pressure and force them into some mistakes such as that one. And now, with nothing else really to do, McCord scoops the ball forward. A beautiful ball. Nighthawks take over. This game having a very similar flow throughout the entirety of it. I should note number 17 up top, Emily Omerson of Cal Storm, fresh into the game. We didn't see her yet in that first half, and sitting in that top left flank for Cal Storm right now, number 17. Omerson already having made her presence known in this half, and good ball trying to find Altman up top for the Nighthawks. Cal Storm all over it, though, and you can see how much space they have in the back on that big transition. This is what happens with tired legs. It's hard to get forward and provide that support for Altman up top. Nighthawks win the throw in their attacking half, and they'll look to keep it here. Wong trying to find some open players, scanning, trying to throw it into the space for Altman. Not a bad idea. Altman now looking to find somebody in the middle. Nobody can get there on time. It was a good ball across. It falls back to the Nighthawks, looking to go back, and a shot from the top from Waldo Garcia, and she just got under it. You could see as she leaned back, she opened her hips up. She didn't hit that with her laces. She hit that with her instep, almost like she was trying to finesse it and place it, but she leaned back and over the top it goes. But a great opportunity there for the Nighthawks. Just 11 minutes into this half. And a turnover force now. Could this be some momentum swing in favor of the Hawks? Wong on the throw again. She has Altman. Altman able to find herself on the ball, surrounded by players, including her own. Foul called, and the referee, center referee, calls it as the flag goes up on the sideline, and this will be a big opportunity here for the Nighthawks to put this ball into a dangerous position. Liana Wong standing over the ball. Liana Wong, 3 assists so far on the season, leading this division in assists. 3 assists across 6 games. Could she tally another one here? Wong over the ball. Long ball back to the back post and cleared out by the Storm, but it'll be thrown on the other side for the Nighthawks. Trotting over his left back, McCord, to take this throw. Hannah McCord, as I mentioned, has been with the Nighthawks since she was a sophomore in high school. She's since graduated from college. One of the many players here who has found the Nighthawks young and stuck with it. Just loves the community, loves the people. And here come the Storm. 3v4 with more players streaking back. Lancaster on the ball. 1v1, just one to beat before the foul. Taps it right. It looked like he's trying to draw that foul in the box, but goes down a little bit too easy. Nothing called. Pagador to Isgrid. Isgrid working on the wing. Pagador looking to beat her defender, and that's good defense there by Kwan. We're going to have another substitute here early into this half, just 13 minutes in. We're going to have a substitute here for the Nighthawks. This is Allie Hall, number 29, coming into the game, and a big moment here for the Nighthawks and for Allie Hall. And it looks like Allie Hall is going to come into that center mid position. Waldo Garcia coming out. Allie Hall, a big name that some may know. She plays for the U.S. Women's Beach Soccer National Team. And another beautiful save from Lau as she parries that backwards. Lau having an outstanding game in goal here. Allie Hall, number 29, into the center mid, trying to lock down that center mid that I mentioned. The Nighthawks missing some of that leadership and tactical prowess in that middle of the field. And Allie Hall, I mentioned, plays for the National U.S. Women's Beach Soccer Team. She's the captain of that squad. Doesn't just play for them, captains that squad. And when she plays in the 11, she plays in that center mid position. So a player that obviously is very adept at the game of soccer. Plenty of accolades to show for it. Let's see what she can do to help these Nighthawks out. Allie Hall and Marissa Vasquez both joining the Nighthawks later on. Marissa Vasquez was playing beach soccer in Portugal. She plays up top for the Nighthawks. We've seen her, number 16, along the wing. Vasquez was midfielder of the year with her college team and now plays predominantly beach soccer. She's playing professionally over there in Portugal. Allie Hall, of course, playing beach soccer with the U.S. Women's National Team, National Beach Soccer Team, if you will. So great to see her in the game. Great to see her in a Nighthawks uniform. Once again, Lancaster causing trouble as she dribbles across, looking to beat players. She dumps it off, and now Hutchinson, number 5, who's been so key for a Storm at that defensive center mid position, gives it away. Taken over here by Grunland. Grunland trying to find Altman up top. Back to Grunland, and now these two will play quick little 1-2 passes. Great job there to keep possession for the Nighthawks. You can see here now Grunland on the ball again. You can see how she really pulls those strings for this team, and that one just a little bit too long. Miscommunication. She had Vasquez wide. Storm giving away the ball. Nighthawks will take over. And I should mention here, this broadcast of the WPSL West Pac North Division is brought to you by the one and only Kevin Allison. You can find him at DNF_ADV. You're on that page right now if you're live streaming on YouTube. You can also find him on Instagram at that exact same handle. Beautiful camera work, graphics, and everything from Kevin Allison as the Storm find a long ball into Lancaster. The offside flag goes up. Some disagreement from Lancaster. When that ball was played, she must have been in an offside position and come back onside. If you're watching that ball carry, and you looked at her as that ball got to her, she certainly looked onside. Cal Storm with 3 subs ready to come in on the sideline here. Hunter, Porter, and Silva all into the game. "18 minutes in, Storm with a throw on the far side, and there hasn't been too much of a change in the flow of this game, and both teams now looking to make a lot of subs, and that's a combination of 2 things. First of all, what I just mentioned, the flow of the game hasn't changed, and both teams, both coaches, since it still is 0-0, looking to make that change and win that change. You want to be that team that changes the flow of the game, not that is trying to adapt to a new flow. We saw 3 changes just here from the Cal Storm. Dangerous ball. Lau has to use her feet. She just gets enough on it. Nighthawks able to get out of it. Looking for that long ball and to nobody as Altman was making that run down the sideline. That ball right into the middle. It's scooped up by Fangold. Number 28, Lou Anderson, getting set to come in for the Nighthawks. That's a good step there from Gerwitz. Good read to win that ball as the San Francisco fog is starting to set in over Kezar Stadium. Just about 25 minutes left in this game. Straight ball in and a good read there from Wong, but it falls right to Cal Storm. Lau will be content to sit with it, make the Storm press, let her team have a little bit of a rest. Lining up alongside Lou Anderson on the sideline to come in is also Emily Koo. Emily Koo, also one of the longtime players here for the Nighthawks. Been around for 11 years. Played her college ball at MIT and went on to play for the USA national futsal team. And it's always fun to see a futsal player on a field with 11. So that footwork is something that you can always tell who's the futsal player on the field. Expect a lot here from number 8, Emily Koo. It'll be fun to see what she has in store. Unpredictable. It makes sense, the fast nature of futsal. You have to be unpredictable. You have to have a good touch. It has to be close to your body. Emily Koo plays soccer just as she plays futsal. She can be slightly unpredictable. Winning the ball there is Allie Hall. Hall dumping off to Grunlin. Grunlin now controlling, and Gerwitz with some time and space. And what Cal Storm have now done is really force Gerwitz to be making some of these decisions in the middle. They've really locked down number 15, Sydney Grunlin, who is truly a phenom for her age. Phenom, that might I add, is severely overlooked, not playing for one of the top Pac-12 or soon to be ACC colleges here in the Bay Area, but absolutely with a talent to be. Player that can not only influence games but control games. That's why she sits in that number 6 position for the Nighthawks. Mentioned the Nighthawks homestand here and how this is the first of 3 games. The long ball's played in. It's a good touch there. Agemoto got her foot on it and saved everything. And now a ball falls to Gerwitz. Gerwitz just looking for some empty space. She finds Vasquez. Able to find some space here on the wing. Here's McCord. Now the Nighthawks trying to swing this through the middle. Stepping in is Hutchinson. And now here come Cal Storm. Nighthawks defense has done a fantastic job under pressure in their own defensive third all game. I mentioned the Nighthawks homestand. This is 1 of 3. Just 2 more games. Napa Valley this coming Saturday, June 29th, and finally La Miranda, Saturday, July 11th. That Sunday, July 7th. That's Sunday, July 7th versus La Miranda. The final game of the season is a doubleheader with Muni, who they will also be walking in the SF Pride Parade with. San Francisco Nighthawks, truly known as a neighborhood and community organization. Lots of neighborhood sponsors here as we play at the beautiful Kezar Stadium in Cole Valley. A beautiful ball out to Allie Hall. Hall controlling it, trying to find Wong back, and it's picked off, but controlled here. Grunlin will get to it. She'll keep it on this side. looking for the switch, and you can see how little she has when she looks up, finding a couple options. Storm doing a good job of just locking down most options here for the Nighthawks. A long ball over to Vasquez. It was a good idea out of bounds, and Nighthawks will take the throw, but a good bout of possession there for the Hawks. I mentioned we were at the beautiful Kezar Stadium in Coal Valley in San Francisco. The Nighthawks are sponsored by a lot of Coal Valley restaurant stores, the ice cream bar in Coal Valley, Gold Boot Academy, Zazie Blue Barn in Coal Valley, Crepes on Coal, of course, the one and only Kezar Pub, Coal Valley Tavern, and so much more. Nighthawks win the first corner of the second half, their second of the game. "70 minutes in, and a long ball into the middle. Rising, letting it fall, and back post is Hall. Takes the shot, and it's blocked by quite a few Cal Storm defenders standing right in front of her. And for a moment there, it looked like Allie Hall might have that go-ahead goal. So good bout of possession still here for the Hawks. They're able to keep it down in this attacking third. Wong now taps it out of bounds. It looks like it goes off. Actually, a defender for Cal Storm, Cameron Silva. Wong trying to possess. Cal Storm will clear it out. Plenty of time here for Agimoto. Loud, Grunlin. Agimoto, and now Nighthawks still in possession. Obviously forced all the way backwards, but the longest bout of possession that Hawks have had this game, and it looks good here. Vasquez over the top was able to get her head on that, but not much more. These subs here for the Nighthawks starting to influence the game. Nighthawks doing a good job of forcing Cal Storm backwards. Storm now playing it long, offside flags, goes up. And a good call there. Just a step offside. We're gonna have more substitutions here for Cal Storm. It looks like number 12 and 29 will be coming in. Number 12, Erica Goriglione, who we saw up top in that center forward position for a lot of the game. And it looks like she'll be coming in perhaps in that center midfield position. That's where she's setting up right now. And Alex Kloss also started this game for the Storm, coming back in. Kloss right now sitting in that number 6 position, that defensive or holding mid. Cal Storm, I mentioned 3 wins, 1 draw, no losses so far on the season. Last year they finished first in the division with a record of 8 wins and 1 loss. That 1 loss was their first game to Fresno Freeze, and then they won out the rest of the games. They made regionals and won the West Region semifinal versus Westside Metros FC 1-0. Then lost in the final to SC Seoul 1-0. SC Seoul then went on to play in the national playoff and lost in the national semifinals to Salvo, who then ended up losing to Charlotte in the final. A long way to go to win this big WPSL league, and Cal Storm having done it 4 times in the history of their club. And for those of you Bay Area natives watching, or anybody who's a fan of Bay FC, the new NWSL club here in the Bay Area, Maya Doms used to play for Cal Storm. Maya Doms spent her collegiate career at Stanford. She'd play for the Cal Storm during the summertime, and now she finds herself on the NWSL team Bay FC, playing down at PayPal Park in San Jose, and a shot goes over. Maya Dom's actually the first ever goal scorer for Bay FC. She'll go down in the history books for that professional club. We've got another substitution here for the Nighthawks. Coming back in, number 26, Waldo Garcia. She'll enter for Vasquez. Waldo Garcia came off in a substitution. She got some rest as Allie Hall took her spot. Now she'll come back on in a different role, playing on that left wing, but they have to be careful here now. Cal Storm threatening. Beautiful ball dumped off to the top of the box for Griglione. Silva there was streaking down that left wing, but once again, beautiful defending, and it has to be said, that type of defending in the 75th minute of a game after playing 3 days before in 104-degree weather, that's just heart and hard work, and obviously also good fitness, but mainly the first two, heart and hard work. And Nighthawks leaving everything out on the field. Both teams really leaving everything out on the field here. 0-0, just 15 minutes left to play in this rivalry matchup. And here come the Nighthawks. Emily Koo on the ball. And we'll have a stoppage of play. Lots of disagreement from the Nighthawks bench. Offside flag went up. We also had an injury at the other end. It looked like Almerson, who's been playing that center forward position for the Storm today, stayed down on the ground, and now she's going to be booked. Yellow card for Almerson. Discussions happening across the board. Both coaches giving notes to their players, and it looks like Cal Storm have a couple more substitutions coming our way. Now, of course, neither team wants to walk away here with 0 points, and a big call here as it seems the offside flag did not go up. And what it seems like happened here is we had a stoppage of the game because of the player down, and there was a foul committed on Emily Koo, who's on the ball in this position. So a free kick now awarded for that foul on Koo. Waldo Garcia set up over the ball to take it. Cal Storm yelling for her to take the kick. Waldo Garcia asking for the wall to be set back. And so we will set the wall, and referee reaching into his pocket. For a moment it looked like there was going to be a yellow card for time wasting. And a loose measurement there from the referee, to say the least. He'll set everybody up, and we will get things started. Waldo Garcia standing over the ball. Serves it into the box. A beautiful ball, just a little shallow. It'll fall for a corner kick, the third of the game for the Nighthawks. Just the second of the half. Let's take a look at that. It was a good angle this ball was played at, but it just didn't have quite enough on it. It dies in the air, and it looks like it headed out by the California Storm. Ball into the box here. Header just over the top. That might have been the opportunity. Let's take a look at this again. Back post. It's a beautiful ball, just far enough away from the goalkeeper so that she can't get to it. All the way in, back post rising, beating the defender and just over the top. And now we'll have those substitutions for the Storm. Coming back into the game, number 21, Lancaster. Lancaster has been causing some havoc on that left wing. Lancaster coming back in for these final 10 minutes. Not something you want to see if you're the Nighthawks. Number 51, Amelia Villa, coming back into the game. Villa we saw starting for the Cal Storm at that right back position. Pagador into Lancaster. Lancaster double teamed. Nighthawks win it, and now Lancaster winning it back. I mentioned she wreaks havoc on that wing, and clearly in the middle as well. Plays that long ball, beautiful ball out, and well done by McCord to just get her foot on it. But it's picked up, driven all the way across, and now Nighthawks find themselves on the ball. Long ball, just trying to find Emily Koo up top. And a weird touch by center back Delbert. Leaves the ball for Koo, picked up by Pagador, and back and forth we go. These players hustling back and forth, knowing just under 10 minutes to play here. And I was mentioning before we had that weird foul on the side. Pause here as we see Cal Storm threatening. Silva with the shot. Over the top and a deflection. It'll be a corner kick. Cal Storm's 5th of the game, but 1st of this half. And like I was starting to say, neither of these teams want to walk away with 0 points. You don't, especially with 10 minutes left, want to be that team that concedes this late in the game. So it's a delicate balance because at the same time, if you're the Nighthawks, you know you want to win the rest of your games out to put yourself in the best position you can to move forward into regionals. Ball into the box, and just as I say that, an open attacker for Cal Storm put it away. Finally able to beat Lau. It was over Lau behind her, and nobody picked up those back post markers. Let's take a look at it here. Beautiful work on the side. Just a ball in, and the defense not picking up those back post runners. Cal Storm in the 81st minute tally it, and just as I'm saying, neither of these teams want to go down in those last 10. Suddenly, the Nighthawks are in the position where they have to push everybody forward. Grunland finding that space, and here come the Nighthawks. Hall laying it wide. McCord trying to get that ball in, and oh my goodness! Hannah McCord answers with a goal of her own. And let's take a look at that. Allie Hall on the ball, dumps it wide. McCord says, I'm under pressure, but why not? A chip shot. And Fangold just can't get her hands up to get to it. What a beauty. Back post, side net for Hannah McCord, and we're back even after all of that. Well, it took a while, but you can see here how this is a rivalry game for the ages. These teams will not go down to the other. Storm now looking to threaten themselves. Lancaster trying to go herself, tapping it right and loses it, and now the Nighthawks take over, but under pressure once again. Emily Koo, playing that center forward position, has done a great job of making herself available, being in all the spaces she needs to, and helping the Nighthawks hold that ball up. The addition of Allie Hall to that center midfield has helped really shore up that possession game for the Nighthawks. And now, just as soon as they're forced to open it up and take some shots, they do, and it pays off. 3 substitutions standing on the sideline here for the Nighthawks. Just 6 minutes left to play. And you wonder now if either team will really try to open it up all too much, because you don't want to be the team that walks away with 0 points after all of this. Perhaps one is good, but with the way both of these teams are playing right now, I don't think that's the mindset for either side. Both teams wanting those 3 points. Long ball into the box. Flicked on, a beautiful flick. Looking to go left. Silva back on the ball. Offside flag goes up. Silva playing 1-2 with Pagador, but as she got it back, offside flag went up. So 3 substitutions here for the Nighthawks are made. Yamana coming in. Number 13, you see her trotting all the way to that right side of the, Nighthawks left side of the field. She'll play in that left wing position. Altman, number 18, the goal scorer, back up top. And Vasquez, number 16, coming back into the game. Altman dishes it to Vasquez. Vasquez working on Pagador. Gets a cross off. It's a beautiful ball in, but Fangold smothers it. And it was a good idea, just a little too close to the keeper. A nice back post ball. Nighthawks have found their flow in the second part of this second half. And this game just really opening up on both sides. Hall sliding in just enough to slow down the attack of Cal Storm with Ormison. It's picked up though. Lancaster wreaking havoc once again, looking to dish it back off into the middle. She had a wide open Ormison, and Lau once again comes up huge. Ormison just couldn't get enough on that. She was wide open in front of the net and hit it right to Lau. And she'll be wanting that one back. Nighthawks now back to Lau to relieve some pressure. Agimoto, center back, into the middle. That's Waldo Garcia, and she'll look to lay it off to Grunland. Taken over by Agimoto, and Nighthawks will just play a little bit of their possession game, but now getting a little trapped here on this right-hand side. Some good work by Wong to get that to Grunland, but Grunland now surrounded 2 players on her, and Lancaster once again on the ball, streaking right, looking to get around. Gerwitz gives it a little shove. She's got a wide open player on the back post. Silva with the shot, and Lau once again is everywhere. Just about 2 minutes left to play. These 2 teams going to penalty kicks just 2 seasons ago. It would not surprise anybody to see a last-minute winner from one of these sides. Again, this game just fully opened up. Bouncing ball, nobody wanting to just control it and put it on the ground, and now Hall will do so. Vasquez trying to put that ball in the middle. It's a good defensive move there from Pagador in that left back position. She gets her foot on it. Out of bounds for a corner kick. 4th of the half for the Nighthawks. Hannah McCord trotting over. She will take this. McCord with the goal on the game for the Nighthawks. Playing that left back position, and she'll take this corner kick left-footed in swinger. Nobody there. Beautiful ball to the back post. Hall picks it up on the backside, and they'll take a corner kick from the other side now, coming from Allie Hall. Just under a minute left to play on the clock here. Driven ball into the middle. Nobody streaking. Altman with her hands up saying, I didn't touch it. But it's called off of Altman, and now Storm going quickly. And if you're wondering if anybody's playing for the draw, a team that is playing for the draw does not restart that quickly. None of these teams want the draw. Both of them want these 3 points. 30 seconds remaining, plus whatever stoppage time, injury time the referee adds on. Ball on the ground here for the Nighthawks. They'll have to go quickly. As we hit the 90-minute mark, and any of these plays could be the final play of the game. Just trying to get that forward. Streaking now is Wong in a collision with the goalkeeper. Nothing called as Wong went down as Fangold and goal came out. And now Storm coming back the other way, and that's smart there. Agimoto just putting it back up top. Falls to Altman. Altman somehow still on the ball, takes the shot from wide, and it looked like a bit of a deflection, but that's just this angle. It'll be goal kick, Cal Storm. An eventful last 10 minutes of this game. Storm there trying to find Cameron Silva, but to no avail. Nighthawks take over, and if you look at the possession for this entire game as compared to the last 10 minutes, as Hall goes down, no call. Now a call. A late call, if you will, and this could very well be the final play of the game. Number 26, Waldo Garcia stands over it. We'll have a yellow card issued here to Lancaster of Cal Storm. This very well could be the final play. Waldo Garcia standing over the ball. Eerily similar position to a free kick she had taken just about 10 minutes ago. And I mentioned possession. If you look at the possession stats for the first 80 minutes of this game and then the last 10, the Nighthawks have dominated this last 10. And here's the ball. Served in again, a shallow ball. Deflected, and now bouncing ball up in the air. Silva hits it long. Here's Lancaster. Lancaster trying to draw that foul. Waldo Garcia careful to put her hands up, and Lancaster trying to use that speed, trying to beat Waldo Garcia once again, looking to draw that foul in the box. Not the first time we've seen Lancaster look to do that. No call. Correct, no call here from the referee, but it's not over yet. Cal Storm threatening again. This game is wide open right now. Time and space for Cameron Silva. Cal Storm have been going down this left-hand side quite a bit, and that is the final whistle. This game ends in a 1-1 draw. Both teams with a goal within the same minute. A shout out, of course, to the very one and only Kevin Allison on camera. Let's put this entire broadcast together. Graphics, cameras, everything. Follow him at DNF_ADV on Instagram, on YouTube. Of course, if you're watching this live stream, it is the profile that you are on right now. And catch us back here in under a week, the Nighthawks with their next game coming up, Napa Valley, this Saturday, June 29th. We will be back here at Kezar Stadium, 5 p.m. kickoff that Saturday. That's this coming Saturday, June 29th. Second to last home game for the Nighthawks. And of course, I mentioned that final game Sunday, July 7th versus La Miranda is a doubleheader, a fun one to come out to, especially if it's a beautiful day here in the city. Thank you all for joining this broadcast. For Sarah Ash on commentary, for Kevin and Allison on camera, this has been WPSL Nighthawks versus Cal Storm. 1-1. Both teams tally a point, and it will remain up to the games tomorrow to see where everybody falls in the standings. Number 1 ranked FC Davis plays tomorrow night, 7 p.m. versus Nevada. And where the Nighthawks and Cal Storm fall after this Week 7 game will all depend on that one. So thank you all very much. We will see you back here Saturday, 5 p.m. for the next one.